Now, before we get started, I do want to provide really quickly a disclaimer. I am 100% aware of her cultural appropriation and mistreatment of the Harajuku girls, including the way she doubled down on her misdeeds. This video does not support that kind of behavior, neither does the channel as a whole. When it comes to anybody at all, nobody should be enabling such actions. I'm saying this now because the rest of the video will not be focusing on that topic. You are absolutely free to sound off in the comments as you see fit. Of course, please be respectful about it. Let's talk about Gwen Stefani's 2006 album, The Sweet Escape. My mother and I were huge fans of Gwen Stefani's music around that time. Regardless of how you feel about her, you gotta admit, she has this unique low baby voice that's really interesting for the studio, even if she's maybe not the greatest live performer ever. She's got a great ear for music, for the most part, and an eclectic fashion sense. Of course, when she's not exploiting other people's cultures for her own benefit. But anyway, we bought the album day one. And honestly, while I've always loved a lot of these songs, a chunk of them I used to either tune out or skip entirely. And I do think the problem came from Stefani, on the one hand, wanting to freshen up the old school sound, and at the same time wanting to follow the trends of the time. And the truth is, you can't really have it both ways. And we ended up with this dichotomy where Stefani seemed apprehensive about mixing all these genres together in any sort of meaningful and innovative way. We're left with the assumption that Stefani has put songs together that don't inherently belong on the same album. Therefore, the theme feels confused. Essentially, The Sweet Escape failed to do what Nelly Furtado's Loose would eventually accomplish later in the year. We've talked about it on this channel before, so if you are interested in what I have to say about it, I will have the link to it in the comments below. While you could argue that it is a bit of a culture vulture situation, there is no denying that Loose indeed set the standard for modern pop music. And it nicely epitomizes Canada as a cultural mosaic. And like I said in that retrospective, it has a really nice structure where the first half of the album is very abstract and bold in the music and lyrics, and then it eventually transitions into more emotional and mature storytelling. The issue with The Sweet Escape, on the other hand, is that you'll have songs that are really impactful and hype you up, and then right after, you'll have songs that are just so underwhelming by comparison. What I would have done is split the album into 2 extended plays. One of them could have all the vintage sounding songs like electropop, dance pop, synth, yodeling, doo-wop, soft rock, all that good stuff. And then the other one could have the equally as great reggaeton, rap, hip-hop, and electronica. This way, people who either are nostalgic or want something fresh are guaranteed to get what they want. In the long run, the full album as is does not please everyone. What I will say is that it is nevertheless interesting to hear themes like heartbreak, reconciliation, closure, and empowerment being depicted differently by these genres. At this point, whether you look back on these songs fondly or not is entirely your call. And that about does it for this year. Thank you so much for following along. I'm looking forward to the next one. I hope you are too. Until then, take care.